Well, hello and a very warm welcome to Business Today TV. I am Chetan Bhutani. Well, Mahindra has come out with a set of numbers for the month of September. I'm joined by Mr. Vijay Ram Nakra, the President of Automotive Division at Mahindra and Mahindra. Thank you, Mr. Vijay, for joining us, sir. What do you attribute the 16% overall growth in vehicle sales to September 24? Is the heavy discounts that really worked out?
Chetan, hi, morning. Thank you so much for having me on your show. It's been a great month for us. As you were saying, we've done record numbers this month. We've had a 24% growth in the SUV business with 51,000 plus numbers. Overall, as you said, 16% growth with 88,000 numbers. On your point on what is attributed to this performance, it definitely is not the discounts or schemes. We've not given anything which is disproportionate for the festive season. In fact, if anything, we have already announced our schemes in the month of September because we believe in transparency for the customer, that the customer must know when they are going to take deliveries in the festive seasons of Navratri, Diwali, Dhanteras, what is the price transaction value at which they will get the vehicle. So for us, we've not changed anything, number one. Number two, the demand continues to be strong across the portfolio. Whether we look at 3XO, whether we look at Scorpio as a family, whether we look at XUV 700 with some of the interventions we had taken a couple of months back. And of course, Thar as a portfolio, not just with the ROXX, but even with the three-door Thar. So portfolio strong, demand strong, and nothing disproportionate in terms of offerings to customers.
Sure. And sir, how much of this 51,000 would you attribute this to the sale of Thar ROXX? Do you have any number with you as of now?
We would not give out model wise at the moment, but just for your information, Chetan, Thar ROXX, we're starting the bookings on 3rd. So right. It's not that we are billing and filling the pipeline with Thar ROXX right now. So it's not a number that gets inflated because of the billing of Thar ROXX. It's genuine pull, and that is coming across the portfolio, as I mentioned.
And there have been various reports circulating online that there are about 3 months of waiting period already with the Thar ROXX. I'm sure many eager customers would want to hear this from you. What are you doing to ensure that the 3-month waiting time period reduces?
Chetan, I think the success of a brand, and we believe that Thar ROXX is the biggest blockbuster product launch in the SUV category. And so we do expect a high demand. There will be a healthy waiting period. But we as an organization, with the greatest of humility, are working because of the kind of response we are seeing to the brand in terms of our capacity. We've already set up an overall capacity of 9,500 to 10,000 for Thar as a portfolio, with fungibility between the three-door Thar and Thar ROXX, where we can go up to about 7,000 Thar ROXX. We are already, based on the anticipation of what we are seeing in the marketplace, getting into taking the actions that we need to, so that we are able to keep while there will be a waiting period, we want to make sure that it is not disproportionate and we are able to strike that balance between demand and supply.
Sure. So you're talking about how, the festives and the Thar ROXX 3-month waiting period that we already spoken about, and going into the festive season when everything is clubbed into one, all indicators are suggesting good growth for you. Any guidance you could give us?
Chetan, I wouldn't like to give a guidance on the festive season, but like I was saying, the demand is strong as we get into the festive season. We've been able to get the right mix of the products and the variants at the dealership based on the anticipated demand for the festive season. And given that it's in 1 month, we believe the month of October is a crucial month. And given the demand for our products, we expect a good performance. And if you look at our performance on a YTD basis, last month we did a 24% growth in the SUV portfolio. YTD, we've done 20%. We have been saying that Mahindra SUV business will deliver in the mid to high teens growth. So I think we've delivered a little more than that on a YTD basis, and we believe the festive season will be strong for us.
Sure. So also talking about the export numbers, there are, a good growth there as well. So what markets do you think are performing well for the company, and is there any plans to boost the export strategies further?
I think as far as exports is concerned, South Africa and Australia are the two key markets now, which are driving the demand and growth. The Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal as a very strong vertical in our export markets. We know the challenges that Sri Lanka and Bangladesh have had, but Nepal continues to perform well and deliver on a strong result. So I think these are the 3-4 markets that have helped us deliver on strong, and Africa, besides South Africa, that have helped us deliver on a strong performance in the month of September.
Sir, has the Bangladesh disruption caused any kind of troubles in sales or any issues for the company?
Chetan, I just wanted to dial back even on the previous one that we've just launched the 3XO, the XUV 3XO in South Africa, and the response there is also very encouraging.
Yes.
That's another product which we now take into the global domain that is helping us deliver on export performance.
Sure. Sure. And also, sir, if I could ask you, when we talk about the light commercial vehicle, the under 2-ton experienced a little bit of muted sales. Any reason of this? Is it because the rural market is not really picking up for this particular time frame or this particular quarter?
So firstly, I'll very quickly talk a little bit about the past and then maybe pivot to how we are seeing it going forward. If you just look at some of the series of the events in the first half of this year, we had elections, then there was the budget. There was the vote on account and the budget period, the government expenditures slow down in that period. There was a very strong heat wave. There was a little bit of uncertainty around monsoon till it actually has now played out. But if I look at the recent indicators after we've had a very good monsoon in the country, whether you look at the long-term period, the monsoon over the long-term period average, whether you look at the reservoirs, which are now at 90% plus, the Kharif land under sowing is sowed by about 97%. The prices of crop at the mandis are strong. Two-wheelers, if you see, have revived, and tractors, which are both very strong indicators of what happens in rural India. Two-wheelers have seen 16-17%, tractors have seen 4-5%. Now, the commercial vehicle sales, the small commercial vehicle sales typically lags the performance of two-wheelers and tractors. So now that we've seen resurgence there, we are pretty hopeful. And also, given that the inflation has been consistent, and in fact, in August, it was at a 5-year low, we also believe that from a monetary policy point of view, we should see some softening of interest rates. So combination of all of this put together should help augur and stop the degrowth that we've been seeing in the small commercial vehicles.
And why is it that the light commercial vehicles above 3.5 tons have shown such a robust performance? Is it because of good infrastructure growth in India, or relaxing of the bulk code of conduct post elections? Any view on that?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of all of what you said. That there's also, don't forget that in the LCV segment there is a bus segment which caters. Typically in this period before we get into the month of August, there is the school season. The bus category and also the load category up to 7.5 ton have both played a significant role for the growth in that category. And on a YTD basis, even our performance in that segment has been strong. There's been a significant positive growth.
Sure, sir. And the second last question. So, there have been discussions on the new EV policy and how, it's not got much of a response. And there have been discussions on hybrids being treated at par with EVs. What is your opinion, sir? Because there have been talks on, treating them at par would definitely hamper certain OEMs' interests and, of course, different OEMs' interests. And lower duty imports even on upper end vehicles is also hurting the local OEMs. Your comments on such developments, sir?
Yeah, first let me just talk very quickly on the EVs. Look, as an organization, we totally support all the actions that the government is taking in terms of multiple fuels.
Right.
To solve for the environment and the fuel bill that they want to address by reducing the total import of fuel. But our view is that zero tailpipe emission vehicles is the only solution, because it is the only thing that will solve and help us become net zero by 2070. It's the only one it's the only solution, if we are able to implement properly, will reduce the import bill of oil significantly. So just for example, if you get to 30% penetration, the oil bill will reduce by 1 lakh crores per year. As far as hybrids is concerned, it is a good technology, but hybrids is a technology to manage your corporate average fuel efficiency.
Right.
It doesn't solve the issue of either environment or significantly reducing the import bill on oil. So I think our view is that that's how the technology should be treated. It's a derivative of ICE. It is not a new technology. It is a technology which in the rest of the world finds very sort of limited support in terms of any incentives. And I think, given our objectives, the government has done a phenomenal job of supporting EVs. Our point is that the entire journey of support to EV as a segment or a category has just started 5 years ago, from 2018, and then we had things like FAME and PLI come in 2020, 21. So it's only very nascent. We are only at 2% penetration, and all the support is about 5 years old to grow the segment of the category. We believe that we need consistency right now, that support should continue. It shouldn't get derailed by supporting any other technology. In fact, if anything, given the Prime Minister's recent policy that's announced to support the electric vehicle category, there is 2,000 crores that has been committed towards charging infrastructure. And we believe that, if anything, that is the area where the government needs to support the industry in terms of creating an ecosystem of charging infrastructure, because the organizations and companies have invested very heavily in terms of bringing the best technology, the best products to the market. And also, as we bring in, India has not yet seen the advantage of born electric vehicles. These, as of now, have largely been ICE-derived adapted electric vehicles. So as we will bring in born electric vehicles, the range anxiety issue will get resolved. Vehicles will offer 400, 500 kilometers of range. The charging infrastructure will fall in place. So I think the government needs to continue to give a single-minded focus to EVs, because that is what the real solution for the challenges are.
Sure. So last question, and of course there have been reports of Mahindra and Volkswagen Skoda joining hands and joining a joint venture. Any comment on that, sir?
Chetan, we put our official statement out there already, so there is nothing additional for me to comment.
All right, Vijay sir, pleasure as always to speak to you. Thank you so much for joining us, and we really hope the festive season works out quite well, and of course the bookings for Thar Rocks reduces significantly.
Thank you.